doing this live because I don't have any memory on this phone, so I can't do any videos on my iPhone any other way but doing it live. So if somebody walks in, hello, I probably won't be able to answer any questions or comments. So this was definitely going to be something that I wanted to do from the beginning. I just never intended to really have heavy topics go on. So I book to always be on like Instagram and Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook and Snapchat, all this stuff, but I don't have many family at all. I grew up with only a couple of cousins and an aunt and uncle. So every weekend we would go, my parents and I, my parents were together till I was about 12, and it's my father's family, one of his sisters, many siblings he had, but he was specifically close with his sister that lived in only a couple of towns away from us at the time. So we would go there every weekend. I had a few cousins. See if this continues. I'm doing this solely. Try to start this over. So I go on Facebook solely to keep up with this couponing page I have. If you knew my last name and you searched it, you wouldn't find an active page because I don't have one. I don't Facebook every 5 minutes who I'm with, who I've been with, where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I've done. And so I do have family members on there, but I just don't often go on there. So today I wanted to keep up with my couponing page. A profile pic that I thought was interesting from one of my nieces that I really don't have any contact with. I do have a half sister. She never met my mother. So older than me, we didn't meet anything. Like, she lives in North Carolina. She has a few children, and so I seen mother later. Her daughter had a Facebook page. The profile pic was interesting. Decided to click on my aunt because I would keep contact with. I would write letters or cards back and forth. And just in the past 2 years, one of my cousins, he's the youngest one of her kids, closest to my age. I'm 34. He would now be 35. He had died, I believe, and nobody even said anything to me. Nobody wrote a message, nothing. It was like nothing. I've been living at the same effing address for 20 years. Nobody could have even just sent so much as a postcard, like, you know, you lost your family member, nothing. Had I not gone on Facebook, I would have never have known. So I knew at that time my aunt was sick. She had gotten sick, went into the hospital, however she recovered. So I did send her a card because we would send cards to each other. But this was over 6 months ago. I sent her a card, just talking, just writing. And I never heard anything back. So I decided while I was on Facebook today to click on her name and see if she had any recent activity on her Facebook page. And to my surprise, I see my cousin, her daughter, talking about how she had a dream of my aunt. And I read it very quickly because I could tell where it was going. And to give my cousin Mark a kiss, and hopefully one day they'll see each other again. So I put 2 and 2 together that my aunt had passed away. And nobody told me. Nobody like my father. My father and I are estranged. However, he knows my address. He could have easily sent me a fucking Post-it note I mean, seriously. And if I curse, guys, and if you're watching the playback, I will put sometimes rants up. Sometimes I curse, so don't put this in front of your kids. Like, if I'm doing some kind of live like this, it's probably best for you not to put it in front of your kids. I had somebody comment about it the other day. I don't know when it's going to happen. I curse. It's just what it is. So if it's not coupon related, it's probably not best for you to be playing it with your kids in the car or something like that. So I'm very sorry, but it's just the way it is right now. 15 times. And this woman that he's with now, I went and I did very nice things for them. They needed. So here I'm looking at post and I'm thinking to myself, so I lost my cousin. Nobody even, it's like, oh, screw that. She, like, no big deal for her. And my sister's on Facebook, but I know my sister and my father don't talk. So I decided to write my sister, and there is such a long history that goes on with this side of the family as far as my father's side. So I wrote my sister and I said, when did you learn that Aunt Florence passed away? And she, too, only learned from being on Facebook. She happened to know that my aunt was sick because they were writing back and forth to each other. However, she didn't know about her passing away other than the fact of seeing it on Facebook because she's friends with her cousin. Disgusting that she's sending, me messages when we first got to an argument and me and my father stopped talking because he turned his back on me and went against me in the most horrible way that you can. She moved that him from, talking to his kids. But that's how my father rolls because he doesn't want to be responsible. So that's all well and good. But wife, more than involved. And it's funny you say that on Facebook or Instagram. It's funny you say that because that was the first thing that Nick said to me. The first thing, that's exactly why I don't have Facebook. And I'm like, if I didn't have Facebook, how would I know any of it? So for me to have to go on, my couponing page and I come across and look, honestly, it's very weird because the other day my mom said, how's your Aunt Florence doing? And I said, I sent her a letter months ago and never heard back. I know that she was sick, but the last I heard, she had gotten out of the hospital and was doing somewhat okay. So I didn't hear anything back from her. I didn't take it, more than that. So had I not post a free sample and then seen a picture of my niece that I thought, I would have never have known today. And who knows how many days who knows how long this would have went. And I would have never have known that my aunt who I grew up with, she's my godmother. She is my godmother. These are my godparents. And fucking my own father doesn't even send so much as a freaking sticky note in the mail to tell me my godmother passed away? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. I don't care what the circumstances are. I don't give a shit. His wife, the fifth wife that he's had, and no offense to anybody, but I did whatever. I wasn't even in a good space in life. And he decided he had an operation to have no more kids when he was with my mother. Okay? And he also told my mother she couldn't have any more kids either while they were together. And ironically, they had a child. My mother gave it up because she was married and her husband said no. So then they split up. He gets remarried and then they take $25,000 from her family and go, and he has an operation to have it turned around so she can have a baby because they're in love and she can't not have a child in her life. And so my father basically lives off of women and makes sure to always have a woman in his life taking care of him. So I'm sure he felt the pressure. I better have a child with this woman because I am getting old and I don't know if I'm going to be able to take care of myself because I'm not a... And he went and had another child. So at my weakest point, I was not in a good space. I was struggling as a teenager. My parents split. I started a new school. I was in an abusive relationship. I was having a hard time in a new school. I was struggling. I reached out to my father, only for my father to turn it around and say, by the way, Sarah's pregnant. And I literally dropped the phone to the floor because I couldn't believe this man, reaching 60 years old at that time, was now about to have another kid when he didn't take care of his first daughter and he didn't take care of me at all, financially, emotionally. He was very controlling, very angry, and crazy all the time. Tried to kill my mother, for crying out loud, at her job. There has been so much that man has done that I've just been like, you know what? If I was in that situation, maybe I'd get that crazy too, because I have a bad temper just like my father. I have passed a lot, okay? Put a lot, like, under the rug, whatever. But this is my godparents. So my cousin dies, you don't say shit to me. All right, I find out on Facebook, whatever. Then my godmother dies, your sister, and you still, or your wife, who's up your ass, and who made sure to message me 5 million paragraphs letting me know I only have one father in my life and I should show respect. I show respect. I have went through great lengths. They didn't have a witness to get married. I did it. I signed the papers. I had a wedding cake made. I had a party set up. I paid for the decorations. I did it all. And with all of that, I had a brother who was, I think at that time, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, watching his parents get married. And that's really why I did it. For this poor boy who, let's be real, he had no business having any other children since he didn't take care of his first wife's daughter, his second wife's daughter. Let's be real. He had no business having any more kids. And then here comes my brother, who I feel so guilty I just don't have the connection with. I mean, I love him because he's my brother and we have the same father, because it's just like life. But I don't have any connection with that boy. And my father would put the pressure on me, telling me if something happened to me, because my father is a sick guy, because he smokes like a fucking chimney. And, you know, he sits on the couch all day and doesn't move and just, you know, doesn't do anything. So he's not healthy anymore. He's, you know, just smoking, drinking coffee all day and eating Entenmann's cakes. So obviously he's not healthy. So he put the pressure on me. If something happens to me, you know, I need you to be there for that kid. What? Who is there for me? What about me? What about when you didn't want to be responsible for me because I was hanging out with people you guys didn't like, and I was with a boyfriend that you guys didn't like, and so money was more important, and so you guys went to the courts and had me emancipated without me even knowing it. I was fucking emancipated. Basically, my parents went to a court in front of a judge and said, here, this is paperwork. We don't want to be responsible for her no more. Bottom line, all because of money. And I have taken it up with my mother, and I have taken that whole situation. She knows it is what it is. And I never said anything to him. I basically put it all on my mother. He put it all on my mom. Like, oh, it was her and her new husband. They had a house to protect. They were working 80 hours a week. And they couldn't afford you driving without a license and having, you know, an accident and they lose their home. He knew that paperwork goes through. He's no longer financially responsible. My mother never pulled him into a courtroom for a fucking red cent. He used to collect, what is that, disability when you can't work? He would collect disability, and because I was still considered a child, I was under 6 supposed to be collecting this check, I end up getting sued. On my 18th birthday, I get a nice letter in the mail from the state of New York, Department of Labor, that I owe them $11,000 because he was collecting these checks while he was working. And he was given a letter stating to return any checks that were mailed. And instead, he never told my mother a thing. He let these checks come. He acted like, here, this is how I'll help you take care of her. And then boom, I got a letter in the mail that I was being sued by Suffolk County Department of Labor the day I freaking turned 18. Like 3 days later, I got a letter in the mail. My mom had to pay and hire a lawyer and make sure it was all taken care of, letting them know that he committed fraud, and then whatever, he committed, filed bankruptcy or whatever he did. So this is the shit that I have dealt with, and I have never said a effing thing to him about it. Nothing. Basically, like, yeah, I know you had a rough time with my mother. Yeah, I know my mother did that. Yeah. Just yes. Whatever, Dad. He has selective memory. Like, this lady thinks, and I told her, I said, you think he's the perfect man? You're out of your mind. I could tell you things about my father you couldn't handle. You wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. Remember, I'm 34 years old. That man's been my father for 34 years, okay? Let's be real. I know a lot more about this man than you do. You know him as an old man because now he's well into his late 60s. So he is tired, getting old, and he has mellowed out. So he is a way different man than he was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. That man was batshit crazy. And if you pissed him off, he was going to make sure he took care of it at all costs. He would make sure he would F your day up, F your week up, and if he could, try to F your life up. That's how seriously changed my father was at a point in his life. When he had the energy, he'd let you know about it. And I can't believe that her being so involved, she couldn't take not even a freaking, I don't know, scrap piece of paper and say, just so you know, your aunt passed away, slap my address on it, slap a 50-cent stamp on it, and call it a day. I think that's absolutely disgusting. And now I have my godmother passed away, my cousin passed away, and nobody said a fucking thing to me. I have to go on Facebook to find out. I have to go on the internet to find out about my family and whether they're alive or not. That's crazy to me. I am so disgusted. I don't even know how to properly express myself without cursing up a storm and acting like a freaking mad lady. Because I can only imagine how I look on the other side of this camera right now to you guys. But I sat for a few minutes. I tried to process it. And the real reason why I picked this camera up is because I decided to write my sister. My sister and I, again, she's older than me. I think we're 11 years apart. She's got a few kids. I didn't grow up with her in the same house. We didn't grow up together. So we really don't have a sister relationship. We don't have that. I know, I have 3 nieces and I knew them as kids, little kids, but for a short time, and then she left the state. And then in the midst of that, she has now been divorced and going through, everybody's got their own lives. So I decided to write her and ask her, when did you find out about Aunt Florence passing away? And then I seen that she too, maybe once a day. Now, this time, months would go by, I wouldn't even go on Facebook. So she obviously was involved more. So I wrote to her, and she didn't know that I wasn't talking, to our father. I told her, Jennifer, I haven't heard or seen from him in almost 4 years. I've been with Nikki this October. This October will be 4 years since I met him. November will be 4 years of our anniversary. So I stopped talking to my father right before I met Nikki. So it's going on 4 years since I've visually seen my father or verbally talked to him on the phone. I've sent cards for holidays, and then when I didn't receive anything back, this time around this year, I didn't send birthday, didn't send Father's Day, nothing, because I was not getting any response. And the last thing I heard from anybody was from his wife. And she basically was letting me know I have one father, and, you know, you got to sometimes, you can't pick your parents, and all this bullshit that I like, I'm not stupid. I know I'm a grown-ass woman. You ain't telling me nothing that I don't know. So, what, you know, and I felt like she doesn't need to be getting involved because she doesn't know the father that I know. She doesn't know the person that I grew up with. She knows the man that she's with. So, you know, so she's going to be loyal to him. She's got a son with him. They live in their own bubble over there. That's what's going on. He lives in a bubble. There has been times that my godmother, my aunt that just passed away the past like 2 weeks ago, that's his sister, his very close sister, that she has gone to their house from Florida. She has been here for other, she would go to their house, and she said, your father didn't answer the door. I'd knock and nobody would answer the door. He would ignore me. Oh, I'm here to visit. You know, I'm here in New York to visit. Didn't even answer the door. So, you know, she puts her nose in this, and she's all involved, and I'm thinking to myself, you only know a small portion of him. Small, very small. You don't think it's weird that he doesn't talk to his first daughter, and that he basically wrote her off over some bullshit, over a party and her moving, and it was basically over a dinner. You don't think it's beyond screwed up that he turned his back on me over I was in an 8-year relationship. The guy wanted to get back at me. He went and called my father, told my father a bunch of shit that wasn't true so he could get back at me. And my father turned around and said, well, call the cops on her. What kind of father does that? What kind of parent does that? What kind of parent goes against their kid? I don't care what the circumstances were. He was a sick, you know, I was with a guy who had some problems. You know, he was blatantly lying. But if my son or daughter or anybody, my family, you have their back no matter what. My son killed somebody? No, he didn't. He hurt your daughter? No, he didn't. Because that's my son. My daughter, she slapped you? No, she didn't. That's my daughter. You always have your kids' back, right or wrong. And for him to turn his back on me, I felt like that was a straight F you. He turned it into he made it about himself, like, oh, you're just like your mother type of shit. And when he said that, that was like, I'm done. Screw you, I am done. So I did not and was not prepared to wake up today to all of this nonsense. I was literally trying to make a video. I want to show you guys some of the things that was brought home to me from Nikki's family from Italy. Wanted to give a shout out to one of the girls here that sent me some mail. I wanted to also let you guys know that if you sent me mail and I haven't said anything in any of my recent videos, it's because I haven't received it yet. I haven't even received my giveaway that I won a month ago. Apparently, in Texas, there is a post office that has had employees stealing, and it looks like my winnings were stolen, and I don't know if I'll ever see it. So there's been mail that I have not received from, you know, other friends that should have been here long ago. They don't even live that far. So I wanted to make a video and address some things. Also a comment on my rant about CVS. Yolanda, I did not get your package. Nope. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Nope, I did not get your package. So I wanted to make a video letting anybody know if you sent me mail, to email me, let me know so I keep a watch for it. I'm trying to literally meet the mailman at the mailbox if I'm home every day. So I make sure I get, or ask them, do I have a package? Anything like that? Hi, Patty. And I wanted to show you the Italy stuff, talk about the mail, talk about CVS and my rant, and that somebody was upset that I cursed in it. And I wanted to let you know, if I put like those CVS update rants, I'm going to try to remember to put rant in the title. If I put a rant up on there, that means you probably shouldn't play it in front of kids. I have the tracking code. I will look it up. Sorry, guys. All right, Yolanda. Yolanda, if you want to give me the code, I will take the time and do it. I don't want you to feel like you have to. I more than appreciate you going out of your way to send me coupons and stuff. I don't want you to feel like you have to take the time out of your day. You can email me the code and I will look it up. No big deal. Patty's enough to piss the Pope off sometimes. Well, the thing is there was a lady who was annoyed about, it's hard to watch your videos. I don't know when you're going to curse or whatever. Well, look, if you're putting a rant video on, you shouldn't be putting it on, with your kids in the car, because chances are they're going to be saying, things in a nasty way, probably a nasty word or two. It's not a topic, or it's not a manner of a person. It's not a way that someone should be acting in front of a child. These updates and rants that I do and stuff, it's for adults, or for a teenager. It's not for your 5 and 6 and 7-year-old kids to be, chilling in the minivan listening, to me complain about CVS. So I will try to remember to put rant in the title so you guys know what's up. So I wanted to make a video about these things, these topics that I have a list of things that I wanted to bring up. And I watched a video yesterday of a very, very new YouTuber. She has maybe, 130 subscribers. I don't know exactly what her channel is about yet. I'm going to be honest, I didn't do research. And I am a little bit wrong in the situation. But she made a video. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just so upset. And I'm trying to just not even I'm trying to talk about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. But I'm disgusted what's going on right now. This is disgusting to me. I can't even, So anyway, I'm looking at this video of this. It's a couple of videos I seen about Graveyard Girl, who I happen to like a lot. And she's one of the first YouTubers I followed a while ago when I first started watching YouTube. So Nikki thinks she's super annoying, Thanks, Yolanda. No, it's just that, I'm looking and I look down, I see a picture or something, I'm just, that was my godmother, you know what I mean? That was my godmother. She lived in Florida. It's not like I got to see. I would have hopped on a plane in a second if I knew that she was that sick, that she was going to pass away. Same thing with my cousin. I didn't expect. I just had talked to him, and then 3 weeks go by, and boom, he's gone. And we were just talking about him and the medicine he was on, and he was doing better. And it's just what the fuck, man? What the hell is going on? I don't have many family members, so a little bit of family I have is literally dropping off. I maybe now have my mom, my dad who's sick and we don't speak, my sister who's a million miles away and we really don't have that much of a relationship, and Nikki, who's my boyfriend. You know what I mean? As far as blood relatives, there is no one. I have no sisters or brothers, and nobody knows what I've been going through the past couple of years. I didn't put it all out on Facebook for everybody to know that my mother drank herself to near death and that she drank herself to stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver on New York State liver transplant in diapers in a nursing home in the matter. It was like it happened like that. One day my mother was an active alcoholic, functioning alcoholic, to the next day glowing like a highlighter, in diapers, trying to use a walker, couldn't even stand up straight, all the way in the city, in the hospital, hoping she was going to live. And I'm the only one. It's just me. She don't have anybody. I'm it. That's it. Just Diana. But I don't advertise that shit on Facebook for everybody to know. So, you know, none of my family knew how bad things were here, how sick my mother was, how we're lucky she's alive today, and how I had to do it all, pay all the bills, anything broke in the house, fix it, take care of the cars, maintain the home, maintain her retirement paperwork, maintain evicting somebody. I had all of that all by myself. If it wasn't for Nikki, I would have lost my shit. I had to do all of that all by myself. I had to live not only my life, but I had to live my mother's life as well, because she was in a hospital bed and that was it. So I had to maintain a house, make sure mortgage was taken care of, make sure her car, my car, maintenance taken care of. She was in the middle of retiring. I had to make sure paperwork was taken to that job every single week so she would get paid. I mean, the list goes on. Changing diapers, buying new clothes, driving to the city, which is, by the way, thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Patty. Hi, Jenny. Sorry that I'm not, Bree. Sorry I'm not keeping up with the comments, though. So the bottom line is I didn't advertise all of this stuff for everybody to know. So I feel like as though if something were to happen to my mother, I wouldn't have put it on Facebook. I would have called people on the phone. Like, I mean, honestly, that's just crazy to me. I would have called my immediate family. Look, this is what happened. This is the date and time. Be there, don't be there. Thank you, have a nice day. This shit, this Facebook shit, that's crazy to me. So anyway, back to this YouTuber. So I'm seeing these videos come up about Graveyard Girl and her complaints with Starbucks. Okay, this is crazy to me. So I see this, you know, a couple of videos, and I feel like these people were kind of trying to make a video about her drama with Starbucks. And it's almost like it was reading as if, like, you could tell these people didn't have successful videos, right? Like the videos weren't getting a lot of views. So it almost came off like they were like gonna see if they could do this video and get a lot of views, and it would be like a come up. And I felt like they were doing it off the back of, you know, a very large YouTuber who is right now struggling. I mean, it's obvious, you know, she's done some collaborations or done a collaboration with a very large YouTuber, and he, you know, tried to like do a, you know, exposing or like letting her real life be known, and I think trying to give her a little bit of a revival. Her channel is like suffering a little bit. She's struggling with what kind of content and her views, etc., etc. So whatever, I didn't see the video. I think she took it down from what I can gather. She did a video stating, you know, if any of you follow her, she drinks a lot of Starbucks tea. And she'll, in her videos, take the tea and she'll be like, let me take a sippy sippy. That's like her thing. And she like brings her head back and drinks the freaking tea. They're probably 50 times a day, and you know, she's Graveyard Girl. So I guess they were like, after you buy one, you can get refills, but they're not free. You have to pay like 55 cents and bring your cup or whatever. So Well, that's the mailman. It looks like she might be scanning something. We'll see. So you're supposed to pay 55 cents or whatever. Anyway, Bunny wasn't paying it. I guess they weren't making her. They were just giving it to her. And then one day she goes there and the drive-through person says, that's no more. You have to buy it. So she got real pissed off and basically did a rant video about it. And I guess it wasn't received very well, and people felt like, what the hell? She's entitled, like, whatever. So now, like, smaller people are making videos about her video and how she's a brat and yada yada. And I felt like this girl was just so lackluster. The video was not thought out. There was no insert of any, like, clips or receipts. It was basically somebody just trying to kind of, like, ride off the back of this drama. And I was just like, how did I even get this shit on my feed? I swear. Like, is there a speaker on my phone? I get the oddest stuff on my feed that I don't even research. It's so weird. Tell me if that happens to any of you, because I don't know what goes on. But I swear, like, you say something in front of your phone, and, like, the next day, somehow it's like, it's in your feed on YouTube. It's very bizarre. So I made a comment on her video. And it wasn't a hate comment, though. I wasn't like, oh, you fat bitch, or oh, you ugly bitch. I didn't say anything like that. I basically was, like, letting her know at, 3 minutes and 15 seconds, it was getting extremely, like, redundant and boring. And I felt like she was kind of trying to get views and a little bit of a come up off the back of, Graveyard Girl. That's basically what I said. So evidently she went to, my comment, clicked that I had a couponing channel, and so she left a comment saying, sorry, but, you don't have to leave hate, though. I don't go to your couponing channel and say anything about your rants or whatever, so I guess she must have looked, she spent time and looked through my videos and seen that I did a rant or whatever. You're alive? Am I alive? I don't even know what's going on, but it looks like I froze. Oh, God, I can't. I really can't. Tell her thanks for the view. The screen is black. Oh, no. I know you guys can hear me, but what happened was I got a phone call. Oh, my God, I swear. FML. So, yeah, I basically just said to her, look, I didn't leave a hate comment. If you honestly thought that was a hate comment, then, you got a reading problem, because seriously. So, look, on my rants, I curse. I'm sorry. I don't always curse. I'm sorry. I will always try to remember if it's going to be a rant video or even an update video that could possibly turn into me being a little bit negative, I will put rant in the title. This way you know not to be playing it in front of, your extra little ones. So now that the screen is black and I can't get you guys back to reality here, I'm going to go get the mail and I'm going to do my whole video. I want to show you guys the CVS. I did get the extra bucks that customer relations promised me. They are loaded to my account. I want to show you guys. So I'm going to have to do an actual video, and I'm waiting for my phone to charge. So I will be back. But thanks for joining me in, the chaos. And, all right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye, Patty. Bye, Yolanda. Take care, everybody.